Hello, beautiful essences. This is Lindsay Essence with Everlasting Essence, and I am here today to tell you about visual verbal journals. I started taking pictures of my journals, and I was creating a blog to write about journals this week, and I noticed that pictures do not convey what I can in a video. And so I wanted to show you real quick what visual verbal journals are and why they're so important to me, and why everybody should at least try visual verbal journals once. So here's my first journal. It is a double-sided journal. And what visual verbal journals are they are what they sound like. They're visual art combined with words into one thing to convey an idea or a message. That's my idea of visual verbal journals. Now, here is my very first journal, just so you guys know and understand that I was there once too. If you've never done it before and you decide to go and do it, this is what it looked like. Nothing special. It is what it is. It has an eye. It has a necklace that I had, and it just had stuff. Nothing big. And I can't even tell you the main idea behind it, honestly. It was just what was on my mind at the moment. And it's grown and evolved. It has ideas, it conveys ideas. Like this one was one of the later ones. It is actually a napkin from my parents. Hi Mom, hi Dad. And it was just what was going on in the moment is I have so much chatter up here. We constantly have thoughts going of lists and things to do, and so all I could think of was the gears are running through my head. And what's interesting about this is from this I've been able to do a lot more artwork based off of this idea. So for me as an artist, these are thoughts and ideas put down on paper that I can then go back and look at and grow from. Just like a journal. Writing down, having a journal, having a diary of the day's events, and able to look back and see how much you've grown is just a huge therapeutic process. I mean, every therapist I've ever talked to really, really wants people to write down your ideas, because it gets it from here onto paper. And this is just a very different way of doing it. And so this was my idea of how I noticed that the distortedness of what the heart looks like. We always think of it as this thing, but it actually is something else. So that's just one of the things I was thinking of at the moment. And what's cool about this journal is it's all recycled material. It came from the scrap paper at school, and I made it. So what I'm going to do later on this month is I'm going to make a visual verbal journal and video it and send it and upload it to YouTube for you guys. I'm going to post the link to that video in the description once that is done. And I wanted to show you guys how visual verbal journals can get you through some really dark moments, because in high school it was in such a dark place. This is actually a friend of mine who killed himself. And on top of it has the lyrics to the song Jumper by Third Eye Blind. And my art teacher at the time, she was very, very kind and explained, you really need to journal about this. Create a verbal journal of his death. And this is what came out. It took a very long time to do it. It took me a few weeks to really get this out. And if you look at it, the picture that I drew of him is not very special. It's not perfect, it's not anything, it barely looks like him, but for me it was enough. And then on top of it, that song really got me through that moment. So journaling gets you through those tough moments. And then also, for me, you can do so much with it. The one right next to it, I'm going to bring it a little closer for you guys, is very layered. It's got 4 or 5 layers to it. It's got tape on it, it's got butterflies, it's got tracing paper, it's got multimedia, it's got pencil and pen and paint and tracing paper, and all sorts of different things. So you can layer and do all sorts of different things with a visual verbal journal. So this is my very first one. Now, if you're not so adventurous, which I totally understand, I was forced to make that one. You can always buy one. This is just your simple sketchbook that you can get at Barnes & Noble. And if you look at it, I've put so much in it, it's pretty thick. It doesn't really quite sit down. What I like about this one is it's got this nifty little elastic to hold it together. And it can be very simple, like, here's my St. Patrick's Day celebration for 2008. I know, long time ago, it's 2014, I get it. But I just wanted to show you guys some of my original stuff. And I wanted to show you some different, what I've evolved to, basically. This one right here is what I call windows. So this is actually just some, this is actually the High Museum in Atlanta, one of the pieces that I found of their stuff. And if you open it, you see that there's holes. It actually conveys stuff underneath. So when you look at it, you don't really see, but it's a window to the next page. Isn't that so cool? So that's what a window looks like. Also, you can do like I talked about, layers and stuff. This is actually newspaper. And I cut strips and I made it go out and I braided it and quilted it and just, I'm a big fan of layering. Pile it on and do some fun stuff. Excuse me. Let's see. What do I want to show? Here's another one. You know, nothing special, and it looks really complicated, and it looks like, oh my goodness, I could never do that, but you'd be surprised if you just go ahead and do it, you know? There's that one. And then this is another one I wanted to show you real quick. And it doesn't have to be, like, for me, this is how I expressed Free Comic Book Day. You know, my new obsession, comic books. And it's a double window. Double paged. Cut off the edges, made it look a little nifty, a little different. You know, I've stuck all sorts of things in here for journals that I haven't done quite yet. You know, this is my grandfather's obituary and the program from his funeral, and then my great uncle's program from his funeral. I also have things of turtles, big obsession with turtles, and they're my animal totem. And so, how each and every one of you, I know you can do this, because millions of people have. Post Secret. If you've never heard of it, it's a great idea. Frank Warren, the guy who created Post Secret, opened up his mailbox, that's his actual address, for people to send in their secrets. And it is a form of visual verbal journaling. You know, this one, in this book is called Confessions on Life, Death, and God. So this one says, I'm a Christian who's falling in love with someone who doesn't believe in God. I think it's a beautiful love story. And it's a Polaroid with words. The one on the next page says, life is more fun with you and my, life is more fun with my work spouse, which is really funny, you know, but it's a picture. It's a picture with words. This is a visual verbal journal. Anybody can do it. So if you're nervous about it, please just go ahead and try it. Grab a magazine, cut out some pictures, stick them on a piece of paper, call it a day. You know, if something's going on that's really weighing on you, write it down and then see if you can stick a picture on top. Or, you know, I have art pieces that are completely layered upon layered upon layered, and I'll have another video of just showing you some of my art. 30 to 40 layers of stuff. And the very bottom ones, you'll never know that that's what is underneath. So if you're nervous about somebody seeing it, write it down, paint black on top of it. I've done that millions of times. Do what resonates with you. And if you like this video and you want to stay posted for upcomingness on art and various things that I'm interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the bottom. Give us a thumbs up. Well, give me a thumbs up. And then I'll also put down my other social media links: Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. And always feel free to try to contact me, comment, Let me know what you want to know, and I will definitely do what I can to do that for you. Namaste.